Hi, I'm Tab Hunter, and welcome to the best of Hollywood.
"1941 saw America's entry into World War II, and there was reflection of this in some of Hollywood's hits of the year. Although women's films were at their peak, military themes became prevalent as America prepared for the upcoming conflict. In fact, the biggest hit that year with a wartime theme was actually about World War I. Sergeant York was the true story of an earnest young man from Tennessee who became one of the greatest heroes of the Great War.
Yeah?
Alvin, I just...
Yeah?
Alvin,
You had your thumb sticking straight up in the air, just like that.
Oh, yeah, that gives me balance.
Oh, it gives you balance, does it? Ready? Aim. Fire.
How?
They won't get me. I'll go back in them hills.
The Indian put hounds on your trail and follow you no matter how far back you go.
Then they better not catch up with me, or they'll be a-wishing they hadn't.
York, take over. The only non-com left. The rest of you keep under cover. Come back here. Where are you going? You didn't give me command.
Gary Cooper won his only Academy Award for the film, which also earned 8 other Oscar nominations. Cooper teamed up with Barbara Stanwyck for the political drama Meet John Doe, about an idealistic man hired to help the campaign of a corrupt politician.
Looks all right.
It's perfect, a baseball player. What could be more American?
Wish he had a family, though. Be less complicated without a family.
Look at that face, it's wonderful. They'll believe him. Come on.
What's your name?
Willoughby. John Willoughby. Long John Willoughby, they called me in baseball.
Would you like to make some money?
Yeah. Maybe.
Would you be willing to say you wrote that letter and stick by it?
I get the idea. Yeah. Maybe.
That's our man. He's made to order.
I don't know. He don't seem like the kind of a guy that'd fall in line.
When you're desperate for money, you do a lot of things, Mr. Cannell. He's our man, I tell you. He's fainted.
One of the biggest hits of the year was a comedy which made shipping off to battle seem almost fun. You're in the Army Now was more about love than war and featured the longest screen kiss in history between Regis Toomey and Jane Wyman at just over 3 minutes in length.
Your number was called.
It seems that Mr. Cupid has a draft board all his own.
When Uncle Sam expected you, 'twas Cupid who selected you. I'm thankful they called for the one I could fall for, and we're glad your number was called.
Hey, Jeeper!
What's the big idea? Turn that wheelbarrow over.
Every time I do that, they put dirt in it. Turn it over!
Comedies for men were big hits, and the biggest stars were Bob Hope and Bing Crosby, who were well into their road movie series by this point. The Road to Zanzibar was a big moneymaker for the comedy duo and featured their frequent co-star Dorothy Lamour as they all traveled to the jungle for songs and satire.
Listen, Dopey, don't you know that Zanzibar's in Africa?
Africa, that's it. Let's go.
Now, wait a minute. Calm yourself, Robert. Do all of your pictures affect you in this way?
Oh, sure. After the Road to Singapore, I went to Singapore. After Captain the Canary, I went to the zoo. After Ghost Breakers, I went to visit Paulette Goddard. Ho, 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 ho. Come on, Johnny. Bing's waiting for us in the boat, and we'll take everybody with us on the Road to Zanzibar. He must have seen the picture.
Wherever you are, you're near me. You dare me to be untrue.
Yeah, I was so nervous the bed is still shaking.
Oh, go to sleep, will you?
Oh, well, no wonder. Look, it's a snake.
A snake?
Yeah, a snake. A snake! You can't train an octopus. They only know from one thing. Grab you quick and suck the blood out of you.
Look here. I'll show you how gentle he is.
Come on, boy. Oh, boy. Come on, here. Don't move.
What are you doing?
Don't talk. Don't do anything.
What are you talking about?
Hinge.
What? Oh, hi. Listen, oh, no! No! Don't! Oh, no!
Here.
Look out there!
Bob Hope looks back on the Road films and comments on their popularity.
They hold up pretty well, you know. Dialogue holds up well, and they play them all the time in every part of the country, and they send them back to the Hollywood to get new sprocket holes in them, and they keep playing them. Yeah. And the mothers strap the kids to the set to watch those two old men because they won't let them go see the dirty pictures, you know. Yeah. And I was with Princess Margaret at the Kentucky Derby, and after the race we met in the director's room, and she said, I want to tell you that the other day I wanted to get a picture for my daughter's birthday. And we didn't know what to get, so we got Road to Utopia. And my daughter and 10 of her girlfriends all sat there and watched it. I said, did they dig it? She said, not for about 10 minutes, and they finally caught on to the slang, and then they laughed like hell. But they play these things, and I just wish we could do another one, you know, if we could get one that's downhill for him.
Another comedy team made an impact in 1941 as Bud Abbott and Lou Costello took their first starring roles in Buck Privates.
You're 40 years old and you're in love with a little girl, say 10 years old.
This one's gonna be a pip.
Well, wait till I finish.
Now I'm going around with a 10-year-old girl.
Wait a minute.
You got a good idea where I'm gonna wind up.
And for music, the song-stational creators of Boogie Woogie Rhythm, the top trio of radio, records, and screen, the Andrews Sisters.
You can't blow a note unless the bass and guitar is playing with him. He makes the company jump when he plays reveille.
This service comedy was a huge hit with the public and coincided perfectly with the reinstatement of the draft.
Hello. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bingo. Quiet. Well, I had it.
Never mind that. Let's show around. Let's show around.
Why don't you make up your mind?
No cutting in, sorry.
The captain wants to see you at once.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Don't give me that old gag.
Wait a minute.
What?
Where's Herbie? Where's...
How did you get up in that tree?
How did I get up in a tree? I sat on it when it was an acorn.
Not only did the film initiate Abbott and Costello's popular series of movies, it practically saved Universal Studios from bankruptcy.
Your lucky day, so buddy, what you say? Just throw your hat to the...
While Abbott and Costello became Universal's top moneymakers, the studio also found the horror genre was coming back into vogue. They quickly capitalized on this by promoting a new horror star, Lon Chaney Jr., son of the famous silent screen star who had played the Phantom of the Opera and the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Chaney Jr. would find screen immortality as the Wolfman, the third great monster in Universal's pantheon of creatures. Appearing alongside Claude Rains, Ralph Bellamy, Bela Lugosi, and Evelyn Ankers, Chaney's portrayal of the doomed Lawrence Talbot has remained a favorite of horror fans everywhere.
Whoever is bitten by a werewolf and lives becomes a werewolf himself.
Oh, don't hand me that. You're just wasting your time.
The wolf bit you, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he did. You wouldn't want to run away with a murderer, would you?
Oh, Larry, you're not. You know you're not.
I killed Bela. I killed Richardson. If I stay here any longer, you can't tell who'll be next.
Some of MGM's top talents lent their presence to the horror genre as well. Spencer Tracy portrayed the role that Frederick March won an Oscar for in 1932, when he took the dual lead in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Good and evil are so close as to be chained together in the soul. Man is not truly one, but two. Now, supposing we could break that chain, separate those two selves, free the good in man and let it go on to its higher destiny, and segregate the bad. Let it destroy itself in its own degradation.
Good heavens.
Why, Dr. Jekyll?
Hopelessly insane.
This is pure balderdash.
You're dealing with things it would be better not to mention for your own sake. There might be trouble.
As the females involved with both sides of Jekyll's persona, Lana Turner and Ingrid Bergman both played against type, with Turner as the respectable society girl and Bergman as the lusty bar singer.
Did you think that Dr. Jekyll was falling in love with you? You with your cheap little dreams? Or did you think as you looked at him that perhaps in his eyes you saw a bit of me? Hyde. Was that it? No. It's interesting, isn't it?
Bee, darling.
Harry.
I love you so very much, Bee.
Why? I ain't as bad as you might think. You liked me once a little, didn't you? Honest, that night you walked out of my place, I laughed at you. But I didn't laugh after you'd gone. I wishing you'd come back.
Now once more, Lanyon. Will you let me take this glass and go?
No, why should I?
For your own sake, Lanyon. Do you want to live on as you have? Or do you want to have your safe peace? Your reason even blasted by a sight that would shock the lowest fiend in the inferno?
Tracy played Hyde without makeup and relied on facial contortions and expressive mannerisms to convey the transformation. When author Somerset Maugham visited the set and watched Tracy in action, he asked director Victor Fleming, which one is he now, Jekyll or Hyde? A fine character actor, often associated with macabre roles, was the one and only Peter Lorre. 1941 saw him at the peak of his performing skills, and he proved it with a little noirish thriller called Face Behind the Mask.
Why must the underworld's most hated man of mystery always wear this mask?
In this film, Laurie is an immigrant who turns to a life of crime after his face is hideously scarred in a fire.
Johnny is connected to your radio in your car.
Let's see what we can find.
I have my reasons for quitting, and they don't concern you boys.
Are you holding out on us, Johnny? Or are you just plain yellow?
The mask he wears is as cold and expressionless as his new personality. Only the love of blind Evelyn Keyes brings back his humanity and gives him the will to lead a normal life.
Thank you. Hello?
Oh, Bert, this is Maggie.
Well, Maggie, how'd you know I was here?
Oh, a flash just came over the radio.
Betty Davis was also having a busy year in 1941. One of her highlights was a supporting role in the comedy The Man Who Came to Dinner. It starred Oscar nominee Monty Woolley as a cantankerous theater critic who is stuck in a family's home in Ohio.
I know what a devil you can be. I've seen you in a passion before when your life has been disrupted. Don't you pull any of your tricks on me, because I'm onto every one of them. So lay off. That's my message to you. Big Lord Fauntleroy.
Betty played his secretary, who falls for a local newspaperman.
Yes, and that's a very charming little bracelet Mr. Jefferson gave you, isn't it, Maggie dear? It makes complete sense now. And to think that I nearly... Well, wild horses couldn't get me out of here now, Maggie. And if I were you, I'd hang on to that charming little bracelet, my dear. It'll be something to remember him by.
Bert Jefferson, you're quite a guy.
Say.
Confound it, Jude, when will you learn that I am always kind and courteous? Ah, my beautiful one. Come to my room in a half hour and bring some rye bread.
Next, Betty went back to what she's known best for, melodramas.
You're going to see a great show tonight.
You're telling me this is going to be the third time I've seen it. Well, I've seen every picture Betty Davis has made. I wouldn't miss this for anything.
In The Great Lie, she played a woman who marries a man only to lose him in a plane crash. In true soap opera fashion, she must then do battle with his ex-wife, who is pregnant with his child.
You shouldn't have come, and I shouldn't have seen you. I wonder what you think of me, really.
You know what I think of you.
I'm young. Don't you think I like to drink and dance and go to parties like other people do? Every time I see you, I feel like you're...
That's not true.
Anyway, I'm tired of being your haven.
She's the only actress on the screen today who can play a part like this. And isn't George Brent wonderful?
You know, ever since Dark Victory and the Old Maid, I've been dying to see them together again.
And Mary Astor, what a revelation she is.
One of the most attractive things about you to me has always been that you understood women. Now you're going to try and understand me, aren't you?
Mary Astor was named 1941's Best Supporting Actress for her role.
And when those two get together, the sparks really fly.
He never loved you as he loved me. You were second choice. You caught him on the rebound. Why did you lie to him?
Oh, Sandra, you're not going to tell Pete, are you?
You see, you're afraid. You don't dare tell him how you've lied to him.
We'll go away together somewhere secretly. You say no one else knows, no one else will know. I'll make all the arrangements, take care of everything.
I'm going to get out of here! No, you can't keep me here! I won't stay! I won't stay!
I thought that you'd never come back, that perhaps you'd marry and stay away for years. Perhaps you'd die. I hoped you would.
How do you like it? Oh, it's marvelous. And you haven't seen anything yet. The real surprises are coming.
Samuel Goldwyn presents.
Next came what is perhaps Bette Davis's best role ever. The Little Foxes was a huge hit on Broadway, and in it, playwright Lillian Hellman created one of the greatest female villains of all times, Regina Giddens.
Brought to the screen by that hit-making combination, producer Samuel Goldwyn and director William Wyler, The Little Foxes, with Bette Davis.
Alexandra is not getting married tomorrow, but she is going to Baltimore tomorrow. So let's talk about that.
On film, Bette Davis nailed the Southern role on the head and earned her 5th Oscar nomination and 4th win in a row.
Mama, don't!
Dan Duryea.
What I could do in a place like Baltimore.
I can guess the kind of things you could do.
Oh, no, you couldn't.
Richard Carlson.
I'm going to the depot to see you all.
Oh, no, you don't. You ain't dressed.
That's right.
Patricia Collins.
I love you. I'll always.
Well, don't stop me, because in 20 years you'll just be like me. They'll do all the same things to you.
The film itself was nominated for 9 awards, including Best Picture, but won not a single statuette. Another tale of the Old South was the much more innocent and noble Blossoms in the Dust. It featured Oscar nominee Greer Garson in one of her most noble roles. She played a woman fighting for orphans' rights.
They're very cute. Just take a look at the rest of them. Are these all yours?
Well, I don't claim them. They belong to my wife.
Every human being born into this world deserves the right to make his own good name without bigotry and prejudice. I'm going to fight for that right for every child in Texas. The injustice of branding innocent little nameless children in records where everyone can see. It's cruel, inhumanly cruel. But there's a way it can be stopped. I never knew a child to take a wrong step that couldn't be traced to the ones who were bringing it up, to misunderstanding, Lack of honesty. Lack of heart.
She is evading the issue. If this law goes through, it will encourage bad girls to have babies.
Bad girls don't have babies. Tell me, darling, have I bored you terribly?
Bored me?
With the nursery.
Why, I love the little pests. Every last one of them. They've given me back my Edna.
Another tearjerker, but one which was much more realistic, was the Oscar winner for Best Picture of 1941, John Ford's How Green Was My Valley. It was the saga of a family of Welsh coal miners coping to make a living against the odds.
Walter Pidgeon has his most distinguished role as Mr. Griffith, the minister who sacrifices his great love for Maureen O'Hara as Anne Howard, the Welsh girl whose beauty sets songs swelling in men's throats. Anna Lee as the lovely and lovable Bronwyn. Donald Crisp as Mr. Morgan, the gentle tyrant of a father. John Loder as Ianto. Sarah Allgood as Mrs. Morgan. Barry Fitzgerald as Sephartha. Patrick Knowles as Ivor. The world-famed Welsh singers. And the brilliant new young star, Master Roddy McDowell, whose inspired performance as Hugh will endear him to everyone. They knew the surging ecstasy of breathtaking love, and together they lifted their voices in heart-swelling song.
Starring Walter Pidgeon, the very young and beautiful Maureen O'Hara, and child actor Roddy McDowell, the film took home 5 Oscars in all, including Ford's 3rd Best Director Award and 2nd win in a row. A director who would become known as one of the greats made his debut in 1941.
Come closer. I want to talk to you. I'm going to tell you an astounding story. The story of the Maltese Falcon.
Character actor Walter Huston's son, John, made his first film with the classic Raymond Chandler mystery novel, The Maltese Falcon.
I could tell you 1,000 tales of the men and women who have hunted this evil bird. But every story has the same ending: murder.
This all-time classic is considered by many to be the first in the noir style of film about the underside of life, and was a Best Picture nominee. Starring Humphrey Bogart and Mary Astor in her 2nd big film of the year, it still holds up today.
Tried to buy my loyalty with money and nothing else?
What else is there I can buy you with?
Who loves who? I won't play the sap for you.
I haven't lived a good life. I've been bad. Worse than you could know.
We were talking about a lot more money than this.
There are more of us to be taken care of now.
Well, that may be, but I've got the Falcon.
You may have the Falcon, but we certainly have you.
I've taken a lot of riding from you. I'm gonna take. Get up and shoot it out.
Stop it. The police will be here any minute. Now talk.
Oh, how can you accuse me of such a terrible...
This isn't the time for that schoolgirl act. We're both of us sitting under the gallows.
Another big hit for Bogart that year was one of the last true gangster films ever made, and one of the most unusual.
All our land, mighty Mount Whitney,
looming above the wilderness with the strange silence of eternity. Yet, stranger still is the mission of destiny that brings men to this forbidding barrier.
Written by John Huston and co-starring Ida Lupino, the film had Bogart playing a gangster on the lam from the cops after trying to pull one last heist.
He's trapped because man can't climb any higher, and men never came any tougher. But what brought him here? What made him that way? Was it Marie? Taxi dancer? Gangster's companion? Yet underneath it all, just a woman with a hungry heart.
Oh, Roy, please don't send me back to L.A. Let me stay. I want to be with you, Roy. Please let me stay, please.
Was it Red or Babe, who revolted against the ruthless domination of Mad Dog Earl?
I'm giving you a chance to blow. If you decide to stick, I'll shoot the first one that don't do as I tell him.
Was it Velma, the girl who didn't belong?
Oh, I know what Roy did for me. But I don't love him.
Remember what Johnny Dillinger said about guys like you and him? He said you were just rushing toward death.
All these play a vital part in the thundering saga of the last of the big-timers, running the gauntlet of the law with the girl who would follow him to Inferno. Human emotion, humanity itself, painted against the majestic canvas of High Sierra.
Master director Alfred Hitchcock followed up Rebecca with another Woman in Jeopardy film, starring the same actress, Joan Fontaine.
There was something strange about Johnny Aysgarth. I knew it long before I married him.
Suspicion co-starred Cary Grant as a man who may or may not be trying to murder his wife.
Conscious of something vague, restless, frightening. There was our first meeting on the hilltop.
Now, what did you think I'd do, kill you? Nothing less than murder can justify such a violent self-defense.
I knew Johnny loved me as desperately as I loved him. And yet I remember now that even his reassurances seemed almost sinister.
I want nothing but to spend the rest of my life with you. And if you were to die first,
If I were to die first. From that moment on, my life was filled with fear. Not of Johnny, I loved him too much to really be afraid. But the fear of not knowing, the agony of waiting, of wondering how it would happen, of waking in the middle of the night, shaking with terror, and finding myself praying that whatever it was, it would be done quickly and with mercy. These are the facts, the evidence before the crime. I wanted you to know, in case I met a violent end.
Fontaine was named Best Actress by Oscar. On a more lighthearted note, James Stewart, Judy Garland, Hedy Lamarr, and Lana Turner headlined the MGM musical Ziegfeld Girl. The three female stars play aspiring showgirls who rise to the top as successful Ziegfeld girls.
As soon as I saw you, I said to myself, there's a hot-looking little number.
Don't let us throw you, champ. I'm 20 degrees cooler than you think.
Oh. One of them refrigerated things, huh?
That's right. You're not the guy to defrost me either.
Funny, I don't have an ear for beauty. Just an eye for it.
I'm sorry, girls.
Oh, say, come here. You want to
Mr.
get credit for
Ziegfeld,
that discovery?
I don't know anything
now,
about...
wait a minute, wait.
What's the matter?
I'm
What's the
trying
matter?
to tell you.
Well, what are you doing here?
Why, I'm just waiting.
You're waiting. Mr. Ziegfeld's waiting.
Thames is just like traffic. Sometimes you gotta stop, sometimes you gotta go.
Yeah, but a smart driver don't beat the lights.
From the lights of Broadway, we travel to the light of Miami. Moonlight, that is. Moon Over Miami sang and danced its way to box office glory with the pinup girl of the day, Betty Grable. It was the traditional story of three girls searching for love in the arms of handsome young men, like Don Amici and Bob Cummings.
Barbara, you still want to go through with it, don't you? Well, I don't know. I just don't see how you can marry a man without loving him. Oh, but darling, listen. How long does love last? And besides, it's just as easy to fall in love with a millionaire as it is with a truck driver. From what you say, he must be very attractive to some women.
Say, wait a minute. I didn't want to give you any kind of a good impression about him. After all the McNeil Steelworks, you know, some girls will put up with an awful lot if a fella's got money.
Yes, isn't it awful? I could never understand. Oh, me, oh, Miami, kindly serve me a portion of your celebrated brand of love.
I go round in a trance. You got oomph in your glance. We got ants in our plant.
You started something, yes you did, but you didn't know what I knew. I knew right away that you were my new romance.
Another story set down Caribbean way was the writer-director Preston Sturges classic, The Lady Eve. It marked the second wisecracking Dame Barbara Stanwyck played that year, after appearing in Ball of Fire.
Here's the gorgeous, tantalizing Lady Eve. Now, watch her go into action. She has her eye on this handsome, wealthy, but terribly naive and inexperienced young man.
Her timid love interest this time was Henry Fonda, a wealthy man who can't figure out whether Barbara wants him for money or love.
Knows how to get him. The Lady Eve, glamorous creation of Preston Sturges, who gave you the hilarious Drake McGinty, the deft comedy of Christmas in July. Now meet Barbara Stanwyck, his very, very vexy Lady Eve, bewitching, bewildering, and very bothering to Henry Fonda, a modern Adam.
Thank you.
That's the same dame. She looks the same, she walks the same, and she's tossing you just like she done the last time.
She doesn't talk the same.
Anybody can put on an act.
Du stiger pojke, jag ska slå dig med käften!
Guess who I am?
Do you know that I find your son very handsome?
That's the same dame. I can tell by the
I'll
way
take over from here, Mr. Murgatroyd.
You and who else?
I said I'll take over from here, Ambrose.
Ambrose?
Ambrose,
speak
speak
alone, will you?
Kitten.
Don't do that. How?
The Lady Eve is one of the classic screwball comedies, but one of the screwiest ever was Howard Hawks' remake of The Front Page, His Girl Friday. Starring Cary Grant and the fastest of fast talkers, Rosalind Russell, they played a divorced editor and reporter who are thrown back together in an effort to save an innocent man from execution.
Oh, well, let's see. I spent 6 weeks in Reno, then Bermuda. Oh, about 4 months, I guess. Seems like yesterday to me.
Maybe it was yesterday, Hildy. Been seeing me in your dreams?
No, Mama doesn't dream about you anymore, Wally. You wouldn't know the old girl now.
Ah, yes, I would. I'd know you any time,
Any place, anywhere. Ah, you're repeating yourself, Walter. That's the speech you made the night you proposed.
Yeah, I know that you still remember it.
Of course I remember it. If I didn't remember it, I wouldn't have divorced you.
Oh, but you're gone.
I thought so, too. Get me Walter Burns, quick. Walter, listen. I've got the whole story on how Williams got that gun and escaped, and I got it exclusive. Yeah, that's right, and it's a pip. It cost me $450 to tear it out of Cooley.
Never mind that. What's the story?
Well, just a minute and I'll give you the story. But I'm telling you first, I had to give him all the money I had on me, and it wasn't exactly mine. Well, it's Bruce's money, and I want it back.
Bruce's money? Sure. You'll get it. Now, what's the story? I'll send the money right down to you. I swear it on my mother's grave.
All right, here's the... Wait a minute, your mother's alive.
My grandmother's grave. Don't be technical, Hildy. What's the story?
Rosalind Russell took time to join Clark Gable for the comic adventure romp They Met in Bombay. The two played jewel thieves in India who disguised themselves in order to steal a priceless diamond necklace. When they uncover each other's intentions, they decide to team up, although both plan to double-cross the other at the conclusion of the heist.
Roaming the bedeviled China coast, eluding the law amid the bizarre byways of the far...
Naturally, love gets in the way and turns everything upside down.
You got acquainted with the Duchess publicly? You were seen going to her rooms with her? Good heavens, you must be the rankest kind of an amateur.
I am not. I'm just as good a thief as you are.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. They'd have been on your trail in an hour. Captain Houston, in command of the British evacuation detachment.
There are strong Japanese columns moving into this town from 2 directions. I allow you, British, 1 hour to leave.
That's very kind of you. But I'm leaving right now. And I'm taking all these people with me.
One 1941 comedy literally made fun of insanity. Love Crazy starred William Powell as a man whose wife, Myrna Loy, mistakenly thinks he's cheating on her and files for divorce.
What are you doing here?
I'm arranging with George to get a divorce.
George is my lawyer.
Powell finds a loophole to prevent her from doing it. He just has to convince a judge he's lost his marbles.
That would do it. What? If you went crazy, Susan couldn't divorce you for 5 years at least. She couldn't? Why, even if you showed symptoms of insanity, would require a postponement of at least 30 days before they could find out if you were crazy or not. Look. I'm a teapot. What's the matter? Is my face tickling your foot?
Madam, your husband is not sane.
Doctor, all I'm saying is that I know Steve hates cold baths. If you put him in a cold bath for 20 minutes, you'll suddenly see how sane he can be.
I'm very sorry, madam, but I assure you that medically speaking, your husband is as nutty as a fruitcake.
Oh, darling, that makes my head feel so much better. Could I have another?
No.
Mrs. Ireland, I wish you would cooperate. We never frustrate our patients here.
But I didn't frustrate him once. Why do I have to not frustrate him again?
Oh, darling.
Finally, we come to the film which more critics have named the greatest film in history than any other. Though it was nominated, it didn't even win Best Picture of 1941. Citizen Kane was 26-year-old Orson Welles' veiled biography of newspaper magnate William Randolph Hearst. Hearst led a fairly successful attempt to destroy the picture when it was released.
This is Orson Welles. I'm speaking for the Mercury Theater, and what follows is supposed to advertise our first motion picture. Citizen Kane is the title, and we hope it can correctly be called a coming attraction. It's certainly coming to this theater, and I think our Mercury actors make it an attraction. I'd like you to meet them. Speaking of attractions, well, the chorus girls are certainly an attraction, but frankly, ladies and gentlemen, we're just showing you the chorus girls for purposes of ballyhoo. It's pretty nice ballyhoo. But here's some of our real Mercury people. This is the first time you've seen most of them on the screen. Hey, give Joe a little light. Thanks. Now smile for the folks, Joe. Smile. Joseph Cotton, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. Joseph Cotton. I think you're going to see a lot of him. Here comes Everett Sloane. Look out, Everett. Oops. Everett Sloane, ladies and gentlemen. He isn't necessarily a comedian. And here's one of the best actors in the world, Agnes Moorehead. Citizen Kane is a modern American story about a man called Kane, Charles Foster Kane. I don't know how to tell you about him. There's so many things to say. I'll turn you over instead to the characters in the picture. As you'll see, they feel very strongly on the subject.
Charles Foster Kane is...
Sure, he started the war. But do you think if it hadn't been for Mr. Kane, the United States would have the Panama Canal?
Charles Foster Kane is nothing more or less than a communist. Kane, governor. Listen, when the voters of this state and Mrs. Kane learn what I found out about Mr. Kane and a certain little blondie named Susan Alexander, he couldn't be elected dog catcher. I'm going to skin Mr. Charles Foster Kane alive.
I'm going to marry him next week at the White House.
Emily, I hear you've been stepping out with Charlie Kane.
Of course I love him. I gave him $60 million.
Well, of course I love him. He's the richest man in America.
But you know, I can't help but admire him.
He's crazy.
He's wonderful.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you'll think about Mr. Kane.
In the end, it took home a screenwriting Oscar, and four-time nominee Wells, who also starred as Kane, had the last laugh as this tale of a power-mad businessman gone wrong only gained more prestige and honor as time passed.
I wish you'd come to this theater when Citizen Kane plays here and decide for yourself.
And there you have it, a remarkable year in the history of the movies, 1941. Join us next time for more of the best of Hollywood.
It was a terrific year for movies. I'm Tab Hunter. Join me next time for more of the best of Hollywood.